everybody, my name is Maron and welcome to my channel. So today I want to introduce you to 15 Minutes Friday. It's going to be a weekly segment, so each week I'm going to be building a completely functional house within, 15 minutes only. So if you're curious and want to know how this turned out, please stay tuned and let's get started. So as you can see, I built a really basic shell because I only had 15 minutes time, and to be honest, my heart was racing the whole time because my time perception is not the best in the world. Usually I build from the outside in, meaning I decorate the outside walls, turn on the roof and all that jabber jabber, and then move inside. But because this was a time limited thing, I had to switch it around. So now I'm moving to buy mode and actually placing a Murphy bed which came with tiny living, and I gotta tell you guys, I love these beds, especially if you're working on small areas and you want to incorporate, a living area and a sleeping area without compromising too much. They're really fun, and you also have like an option which comes with a bookshelf, but yeah, just try them out. I placed a little television table thingy and a television on top just because I thought the tiny living TV would not be the best visually one. Yeah, that doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean. Because I wanted to add a little bit of clutter if I had the time for that. So there's TV stand and the television. Because this room is limited in space, but I did want your Sims to be able to do pretty much everything, I'm going to add a little desk right in the corner over there and a little laptop. The good thing about all these pieces are that they pretty much go well together when it comes to colors, and the Sims and colors are not always the best friends, but these work pretty well. And the good thing about this desk is that it only takes up one tile, so if you're working in an apartment or university housing or anything like that, they're really comfortable and, just perfect for the small area you have. I did want to incorporate a full functioning kitchen, so with all supplies. I didn't add a dishwasher, but I decided to put it in the sink. Maybe a dishwasher would have saved a little bit of space, but I like the look of a sink in the kitchen just because it breaks the surface a little bit. And because for the living space I went for the tiny living eco-ish kind of packs, I decided to go for an orange kitchen. I don't think I ever did an orange kitchen before, but I think they go pretty well together. So yeah, I went for that. Now the tricky thing is that normally I place the windows before I put down any furniture, but now I switched that around because of the time, and you will see in a little bit that one of the windows is going to be behind the fridge, but I didn't mind it all too much because the light fall was actually pretty cool on this lot with that. So I'm just rotating the camera a little bit to see if I wanted a kitchen table over there, and I think it's a pretty cute nook to actually have it. I think if you want to get into details, you can add a little bit more detail over there, like on the walls, which I actually did in the version that is up in the gallery because I slightly tweaked it before uploading it because I wasn't 100% satisfied, but I didn't spend a lot of time extra on that. I think I gave myself 1 or 2 minutes, so still pretty much a 15-minute challenge in the end. And what I did like was placing the windows actually brought the room to life, which was pretty fun to see because usually I do it the other way around, so I know what the furniture is gonna look like with the light fall, but now I didn't, so the little surprise effect was kind of fun to work with. It also gave me the idea to give the wall more than one color, which I usually don't do because I always see other people do that and it works really well, like put a brick section in between, but for some reason I don't get that right often. So I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. You're gonna see in a little bit, but I quite like how it turned out. Now what I did try to do is to keep the whole house light and spacious by feel, so the flooring is a pretty light color, and usually I'm a fan of dark wood, But for this one, the light wood from Eco Living, actually, is it Eco Living or Eco Lifestyle? I don't know. Well, but it worked really well with this area, so I kind of went for it. But as you can see, I changed that to a fence just to give a little bit more light and dimension into the whole house, because else it felt too much like a cube here and a cube there, and now it just feels like the areas blend in a lot nicer. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, blend in more nicer, a lot nicer. Yeah. And I do gotta say, even talking about this now gives me the gibbers a little bit. I don't know why, but I'm getting a little bit nervous. But yeah, sorry about that. I did change like the wallpaper a few times. Not that many times, but you know, for the amount of time I had, quite often. I said time way too often. Yeah. Sorry. Usually I go with the pastels, which I still wanted to incorporate into this build because that's kind of my thing. It's one of my favorite colors in the whole game, and the wallpaper is one of my favorites. I think I almost use it in all my builds, but yeah. So I changed that to gray just on one side, because on this side I felt the gray looked better with the bricks on the back side, and on the other side, actually, when you are in live mode, I didn't realize it while building, but when you turn it around and you're in the kitchen area and you look to the living room area, the green of that wall blends in really nicely with the grass landscaping. So that's a pretty cool detail that I didn't even pay attention to, but you know, it's a fun accident. Now normally when I do a tiny house, I make the bathroom even smaller than this if I can, but because the time was so limited, I just decided to go with a 3x2 because that's the easiest platform to work with, room size to work with. And even though like the tiles are not different, the tiny living sink looks smaller than the other ones. That's probably why it comes with tiny living. But yeah, I like the vibe it gives in this. And as you can see, I forgot about the lights by this point, so I actually insert them last. And even though your Sims cannot use the toilet paper, I mean, it's so much more realistic to actually put it in there, so I always try to add at least toilet paper, because, yeah, just like what I mentioned. Yeah, so the walls are like that, but I still have to add a window. And first I actually thought I would add the window on the short end side, and that the sink would be the other way around, but actually during this whole thing it ended up differently, so I decided to go for the idle living window, which somehow actually works kind of nicely with this whole thing. I mean, it sort of has this, you know, white and orange tone, so first I thought let's go for orange, and then I ended up going with white just because that leaves a little bit more space to play around with the exterior walls. Now for the inside walls, I usually like to play with mirrors in small spaces like this, but because the time was so short, which really creeped me out, by the way. I don't know how other YouTubers make this seem easy and like it's effortless and, you know, easy to do within 15 minutes, but trust me, this is not something you want to do because you think, oh, let's build a relaxed house. No, this is like, let's be crazy and do it anyway. I mean, as you can see, the fence pops out a little bit on top, but as long as there's a roof over there, nobody's gonna notice. I mean, come on, there's a roof. No one's gonna check underneath the roof. Okay, I did, but yeah. Even though this is sort of a modernish house, I still wanted to give it a little bit of a, not Tudor home, but I think you get what I mean, vibe to it. Maybe because it is in, I think it's in, no, not Newcrest, the Willow Creek, that was it. So it sort of blends in with the rest of the neighborhood, but yeah. So one of the things I did end up changing in that short amount of time I gave myself for alterations after this video was the outer pillar, because I didn't end up liking it all too much, so there's a little change in that. Now, by this time I honestly thought that I was past 15 minutes, so I just raced to put on wallpaper and change the roof a little bit and stuff like that, but it did not calculating time to actually have decoration going on inside, and when it turned out I did, I got excited, but I totally forgot that there's one piece of wall outside which is not covered in brick, and you can see it right there in the right corner. That little side, that little piece at the window, that's not covered in wallpaper, and I actually noticed that after uploading it to the gallery, so I deeply apologize for that. I usually double check everything like 3 times before I upload it, but this time I forgot, so sorry. But yeah, on the outside I did want to have, I'm changing the pillar now as well, but this is not going to be the same that's going to be shown in the gallery at the end in game, because I don't know why I put this one there. It's so out of place. I mean, yeah, this one glows in the dark, and I think that's why I decided to use it in the first place, because I didn't know if I would have time to add lighting outside, but I ended up not liking it all too much. It broke too much. It, well, just stood out too much for me. So yeah. This is sort of when I started to realize I had a few minutes left to actually decorate, so I decided to put some bushes over there and make it look like, you know, just chilling, building a house, taking it easy. I was not taking it easy, but taking it easy. And I am curious though, I mean, have any of you ever tried building a house in a short amount of time? If you did, let me know, because I want to know if I'm the only one stressing out during these things, or that it's completely normal, or that it will, you know, become better over time the more often you do this, because I'm going to torture myself and do this weekly for you guys. I mean, yeah, because I'm kind of weird, and well, yeah, that. And actually during this painting system, I briefly checked my phone to see how much time I had left on the timer, and I realized I had some time left, and I was like, phew, because I did not put in lights. I was like, oh my god, I did not put in lights. But yeah, I am going to put in lights, so don't worry, your Sims are not going to be in the dark. Yeah, I moved the sink around a little bit because I wanted to see where I liked it better. And then I realized I do not want it besides the stove, because that's just odd. It's odd. And here comes the lighting. Yay, your Sims are able to see in the dark, which is pretty much a pretty good thing to have, you know. I mean, you want to be able to see where you're going. And I actually managed to prop in, I think, like an easel in this few last minutes. I think I did. Did I? Oh, even a chest. Okay, yeah, I actually added a chest table and an easel, because the easel is going to be in the corner. And I don't know how I did this fast, because usually I even take a lot of time just placing stuff like this. And I think I might have actually accidentally moved the Murphy bed before uploading it to the gallery a little bit to the front. So if it's not working in the downloaded version, sorry guys, just move your chest table and Murphy bed a little bit more backwards and everything's going to be fine. So, you know, that's going to be fixed really easily. Now, the last thing I'm going to be decorating, I think, is going to be 2 paintings on the wall. And actually, when uploading it, after uploading it, I realized I don't really like the look of the white frames, because I wanted the brown ones, but I ran out of time and I didn't want to feel like too much of a cheater, so I just left that as it is. Now, these curtains were pretty much a bonus thing for me, because I didn't think I would have enough time to actually add curtains, and for some reason I am going to turn them into a yellow color, probably because the carpet also has yellow in them. But it's out of my comfort zone once again, because usually I use more neutral colors, and this one, you know, just popping in a little bit of color. So if you guys want to use this build in your game, just go down to my gallery. It is MarronStone, just as my YouTube channel, and I think it's called Eco Starter. Yeah, it's called Eco Starter. And it's pretty much a basic budget build as well, because it's such a short amount of time that it's built in, so there's not a lot of room to ruin your budget. So it's a great starter house. Use it for 1 or 2 Sims, plenty of space to expand, and yeah, just enjoy. And if you have any tips or tricks for me to build a house within 15 minutes, let me know, because I'm curious if you have anything that can be helpful, or that you say, oh, maybe you should try this in 15 minutes. Just let me know, hit me up, and I am going to try and maybe fail, probably fail, but you know, it's fun to try out things that you're not usually doing, so. And if there are any questions for me, please let me know in the description box down below. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. These things will be popping up every week. I also make tutorials, and yeah, that was pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed my video, and that I'll see you around next time. Bye!